Hi everyone, so now we're going to start looking this week at some decorations to go on our Christmas tree. Haven't put mine up yet, but it's going up very shortly. So here we have one of the little tea lights which has a little switch on the back and is nice and safe. So I'm going to switch that off for the moment. Right. Unfortunately my glue gun is sort of a little short at the moment because of the screens that are up, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a chenille stick and put it round the top of the tea light, and we're going to turn this into a snowman with earmuffs. So what I'm going to do is just hot glue round that bit. So take the chenille stick roughly halfway and we're gluing it onto there. So I'm going to bring that down there. I'm going to use this as his mouth, and I'm just going to take my pen so it starts to come together very quickly, and I'm doing little dots which would be the coal for his mouth, and then I'm going to do a couple of larger dots here for his eyes. Right, very simple to do. Children love to do this one. Okay, I'm going to bend these out where I want the earmuffs to be. There we go, and when I switch the switch on the back, so his nose lights up like that. So let's take that off. I'm going to take a pair of pliers, but I'll show you in a minute you can do it without. And what I'm going to do is just curl this round. Some people tend to use pom-poms, but I rather like this on here. It gives a bigger earmuff. So if I do it here without the pliers, all I'm just doing is turning it round and round. So this bit's obviously safer for children to do. So bend them up into the right place. And there we have a fun little snowman to hang on your Christmas tree with his earmuffs in place. Let's just push those in a bit. There we go. And then all you've got to do is add a little loop to hang your snowman up. All right, so there is snowman number 1. Okay. Next one we're going to look at, slightly more complicated, is what they call the German star bell. So this makes a beautiful bauble to go on your tree. You can decorate it with all sorts of pictures on the side if you wish, and make it quite elaborate with beads and tassels and things like that. So I'll leave that to one side. We're going to take a piece of paper, and it doesn't matter what size it is so long as it's square. Okay, so this was made from, I think it's a 14.5 inch, 14.5 centimetre square. Okay, and all we're going to do is fold it diagonally. Use your bone folder to get nice crisp folds, turn it round and go the opposite direction. Right, okay, now I'm going to mark my internal lines so that it's easier for you to see. Right, you don't need to do that. It's just that the camera doesn't pick up the creases very well. So we're going to take all of these diagonals in turn, and we're going to fold this side along that edge. So I'm going to fold it so it goes along that line and fold with the bone folder. Now I'm going to make this one go up to meet it. Okay, so we've got a kite shape. Now I'm going to open it, and I've just done that one. I'm going to turn around because I want to now do this one. So exactly the same. It's gone slightly off. Do try to be as accurate as possible. There you go. Another kite shape. Open it up. I've done that one. I've done this one. So now I'm going to turn around and do this one. You're going to do this 4 times so that each one has been folded exactly the same. Now there's no cutting with this. Right. Okay, there's our third one. Open up, and I can now tell that I haven't done this one. So I'm going to take this and fold there. So that is all of my star shape done, and the last thing I'm going to do is to again fold over, this time straight across, open it out and go straight across this side. So I finished up by putting a cross on the paper. Right, all there is now is we're going to put our fingers in the side piece and just pinch. Hold on to where it crosses, pinch. This will make it far easier when we do the next bit. There. So now I've got all of those, and it's starting to go into a boat shape. The sides are coming up slightly. Right, now it's really good if you can get a little hole right in the centre. So what I'm going to do is, I've got this long punch. I am going to try and get a punched hole right in the centre here. Right, what I'm going to do now is to start pushing in on the sides, and these 4 bits here will come up into a point. Now if you've got nice crisp folds, you'll find that this point here has come down, and these are making nice facets on the bottom. So this should all meet nicely at the top, and that is your basic bauble done. I will quickly run through again with a bigger piece of paper so that you can see a bit more detailed, but this is the ideal size. So now I'm going to take a piece of wire, and I'm just going to put my wire round one of my tools, just to make a loop. Go. Now what I'm going to do now is poke that down through there, and pull up these bits so it hugs the loop that I've got on the top. So my wire is coming out the bottom. I could have given it a little bit extra length, but what I'm going to do now is get glue, hot glue, into these four corners and fix my wire in place. Okay, so I've got my hot glue on now, and pull that up so that it's hugging onto the wire loop at the top. There we go. Now really that needs a couple of minutes to just set hard, but then we're going to look at this bottom piece, and really anything will go onto here. Right, so I've got a large bead that I'm going to put on, and I'm going to put a tiny bit of hot glue right at the bottom and push my bead up to there. The other one I've put 2 beads on. Then all I'm going to do is to hold that gently, and I'm just going to twist the bottom bit into a loop so I can add a tassel, or just leave it as it is. So there is my German star bauble all ready to hang on the tree. So there's the second one. On this one I've put a little bead cap, but there's very little gluing and no cutting. So let me quickly run through the folds again. I'm going to do last week I showed you a little lantern. So I've got a safety light in here, and I've made a little lantern. So the pieces that you will need is 21 by 15. Now that's A5, and we're going to score across the 21 measurement 5, 10, 15, 20. So here's one I prepared earlier. And we're going to score 5, 10, 15, 20, and it leaves me this little bit here. Right. We're going to turn it then to that side, and we want to score 5, 10, 14. 5, 10, 14. There we go. Right, so this will be our joining part. This is the top of our little lantern, so that's going to be here. Right, and this will be the bottom. So the first thing I'm going to do is take out this bottom piece. So here we go. Right, our join will be here, so I can take out that bit. Right, so I'm not bothered about cutting these just yet. Right, we're going to look at this top half. Now, if we have a look at this one, you'll see that on the sides, the little, this is arched inwards, okay, to make it more realistic. So let's have a look at this. If I turn it over, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 panels. So what I'm going to do on here, I want to put my tool, I'm lining it up with one of my lines, I want to put my tool in here and I want to go to halfway along there. Okay, so what I'm going to do, you can measure if you like, but it's easier if we fold that down and we mark 2.5. I don't need to do this one, and this one I'm going 12.5. Okay, so if I turn that round now, do it from that side, we're going to put my tool in the groove, right, where it crosses there. I'm going to swivel it around so that my mark is there, and I'm going to score there. Then I'm going to put my tool in the next mark there, swivel it so that I can go to that point. Okay. We've now marked the diagonals of 2 bits. We're going to cut this off, so don't worry. Right, now I'm going to go to this one. I'm going to put my tool in the corner there, swivel round till it lines up with the mark and score. Put my tool where it crosses, there, turn it round and then score that one. Right, you will see exactly where to put your tool on yours because it will show up a lot easier. Now, this little flap I'm taking out. So it didn't matter that we put our scores right through there. That's all that we need. And I'm just going to give all of my score lines a little helping hand. Right, so every straight line and every slanting line. There we go. Right, so there we have the lantern. Right, this bit will go together beautifully. This bit here is our centerpiece and we need to put windows in it. Right, so what I'm going to do now is to place this, do it on here for you, on here, and I want to mark where I want to cut. So I'm going to feel 1 centimetre in each side of my panel. I'm not measuring it. My tool will automatically go into the crease. Right. Turn it round and I can come down. If you want to draw it out and measure it, fine, but this works well. So now I've got 4 panels that I can now cut out. You can do it with scissors or you can do it with a knife. I'm going to come down with a knife. So there is one window. I'm just going to break that off so I have a new blade. That's better. And I'm leaving the score marks on the main lantern just as part of the decoration. Poke out the windows as you do them. And then we'll be ready to apply tape where we need it. So we now have our 4 windows poked out. We're now going to put tape right the way through, and I tend to use red liner tape because it's strong. And what I'm going to do is put one piece right the way through above the windows. And then I'm going to take one piece across below the windows. Now, these shapes here was 5 centimetres by 5 centimetres. You can see a bit there that I want to just trim, neaten up. There we go. So this was 5 by 5. So I'm now going to cut 4 windows that are 4.5 by 4.5 because I don't want to interfere with this crease. So here I have 4 little windows that I've cut. Take these out the way. Get rid of those, and I'm going to take my 4 windows and place them so that they're away from these creases. It's only a fraction of an inch there, but we need the box to go together properly. Yep. So the next thing I need to do is a piece of tape on one of these, which will hold the top of the box together. So that one is ready. Pardon me. And then I need a piece of tape on here, which will join my box together. Okay. Still haven't worried about this bit yet, and I'll show you why. So what I'm going to do now is take that covering off. It's nice strong tape, but it's awkward to get off and get off your hand. It tends to have a lot of static in it. There we go. Right, now I'm going to fold that in, and if I fold this in, it should go exactly in the right place. So you don't have to hover in the air and try and do it. Right. Now I'm going to just rock it backwards and forwards. Now I need to do these. So this is where the join was. I'm going to fold that over. I'm going to take my scissors and I'm just going to snip a little wedge out. Fold it over. Take a little wedge. And I'm then back to where I started. Now, what I'm going to do now is to press these side bits in. Just make sure that they are going to fold right. Just give them a little helping hand and then fold that together. And if I release this bit here, I can press that together, and there is the top of my box ready. Okay, I can take my hole punch here and just put a little hole up here ready for a hanger. Now we're going to look at this. The first thing we need to do is to put the sides in, and then this has got the seam on it, so this is the back. So we put the back down so that when we look at the front of the box, there's no seam showing there. Okay, now if you were to seal that up, you're not going to get your light in. Okay, so I've used up my other light, so I'm going to take this one out. The way I've got round it is you could put a little Velcro fastener just here, or I have got a couple of very thin magnets, and if I place some hot glue there and some hot glue there, I can put the two magnets together there, fold that down, and when those are dry, which will be a couple of minutes, let's make sure that's fixed, I will be able to open the box like this one. There's magnet, magnet, and that just clamps together. So then you could put ribbon or a little bit of wire, and then I've just added a couple of flowers and a few leaves. There we go. So let's see if this one is ready to separate. Yes. So there we now have them fixed in exactly the right place, so that when I snap that closed, it's all finished. So there is our beautiful lantern. Let's put this in just to finish it off. So just slide that in. It's easy then for you to be able to turn the light on and off. Let's just get this the right way. There we go. So there is your lantern, the light's on inside, and you can decorate however you want, but that will be a nice hanging on your Christmas tree. Now we're going to look at a little gift to hang on the Christmas tree for perhaps a little girl with long hair. And all I'm going to do is, this is a piece of mount board, but you can use any stiff packaging. And all I'm going to do is to draw around a circle. Right, it's about 4 fingers width across, and you're going to cut that out. So here's one I prepared earlier, and I've got some little hair bubbles in different colours. So what I'm going to do first, I'm going to take the black ones, and keeping the little join towards the back, I'm going to place 3 across. Okay, there are my first 3. Then I'm going to take another colour. I'm going to go orange next, I think. And I'm going to put those and put them across so that they're to the right of this side and to the left of that side. So just move it across so you can get the 3 in. I'm going to be jiggling these here. Right, then I'm going to go for, I think, my light brown. So place it to the right and bring it over to the left. Okay. Now I'm going to just ease these a little bit. There we go. Right, I'm going to go to this side and I think I will go blue next. These are from any of the pound shops, but try and get the most you can for your money. There are some that do sort of 50s for £1, which obviously is going to make it very much more economical. So there we go. 2. Don't be too worried about how they're going on because they're not being glued in place, so you can jiggle them about. Then I'm going for a paler colour. There, so fix one to the right and pull it across so it's to the left. Okay, I'm going to try and get the next 2 on if I can. So, there we go, 1, 2, 3, and if I just jiggle them a little bit now, I can just make room for that last lot. I'll just finish these off. So you can make lovely rainbow colours or all one colour, whatever you fancy. Okay, so we're going to now just take a stirrer stick and poke that up through the back. So again, no glue or anything, it's just holding itself in place. And I think I will cut that off just a fraction. So poke it in, that's better. Okay, I've now got a little plastic card wallet, and I'm going to pop that into there. Piece of ribbon, and you're going to tie it tightly. These are absolutely lovely for putting on a charity stall. They're quick to make and quite reasonable if you search for your hair bubbles. So, there we go. Now look at that for a lovely little gift that will go on your tree. Let's put that to one side. Now we're going to look quickly at a version of an angel. So this is a little hanging angel. This particular one has got a small 1-inch bauble for the head. but it's very, very simple to do with your scoreboard. So let's have a look how that's made. So here I have a piece of paper that is 14 centimetres long, and it's from a 12 by 12, or you could go to an A4. You want it fairly thin, right? Otherwise your fingers are going to complain. So I'm going to put it on my scoreboard. You could do every ½ inch, which is a lot better. And if you do sort of every ½ inch, there, flip it over and then score the ½ inch between, you'll find that your folding will be a lot easier. So it just depends how tight you want your pleats. I'm going to just do that much at the moment. You can carry on to the end. So you will find this is a lot quicker because you've done your score lines in different directions. And the magic of technology is I've now finished that. So if you remember, we did 14 centimetres. So what I'm going to do now is to cut that in half. So I have 7. I didn't measure it. And I'm going to cut this in half. For the arms. So there is the beginning of our angel. And I'm just going to take a circle of any card and placing on the back here, hot glue's not coming out. I'm placing that so that it spreads from the middle. There we go. So now I'm going to close up the arm, and I'm going to put the arm on here so that it fans upwards. It will naturally fan out. This is a glue gun with a very small nozzle and doesn't want to really play. So there is that one. I need to leave room for the head, so don't let it go up too far. Right. And my last one, the glue gun's disappeared. So we're going to let it join onto the skirt and then fan up and just hold it for a few seconds. So although this seems fiddly folding it backwards and forwards, it's quite easy once you've done one strip to cut it into smaller bits. So now I've got a large jewel, and I'm just going to fix the large jewel in place for the head of the angel. Now we're going to add a little hanger on the back, so I'm just going to fold over a bit of ribbon, turn to the back, and you can either tape this down, or I'll see if I can get the glue gun. Just to put a little on the back of there and press it down. There I've got my, whoops, let's just go back, fix that on. There we go. So there's our angel, there's our little hanging loop. I've got some organza ribbon here which I'm going to make a bow. Let's just make that nice and neat. Then we're going to attach that. Just decided it's working now. There, and I've got 3 little roses which I'm just going to glue on the front of her. So there is one made with a little bauble, and I haven't put the flowers on, I've put a jewel in the front of her dress. But you can see they're very easy to make and look beautiful hung on the tree. So that's going to one side. We're going to look at another angel now. Okay, so this is wired ribbon, right? It's got wire on both sides. So I'm going to fold that into the middle, and I'm going to fold this back. There is no real measurement. Okay, so let's cut that off there. Right, now let's just see. It's about 12-13 inches wide. So overlap in the middle, pinch it together, spread out the wings, and you can tie in the middle with wire or ribbon. Where did that piece come from? Okay. There we go. So, angel wings to start with. Right. Now we're going to look at the skirt, and I'm going to work out the skirt about the same length as the wings. So we're going 1, 2, 3. 3 loops of ribbon. Okay, so I've just had to go and use a different glue gun. So what I've done now is I've got another circle of card, and I've glue gunned on the wings, and now I've got one of the skirts, and I'm going to take the other two skirts now, screw them tightly, and because it's wire I can just give them a little twist. Yep. And if I can get the glue gun going, I want to put one skirt this side, press down, and then the other bit. These wired ribbons are very good from shops like Range or the pound shops, and you can get quite a lot on a reel. I'm just going to twisted that one. We're going to put that one in place. So now we have our angel with her ribbon skirts. Let's make sure that's going to stay down. And I've got another one of my jewel bits for her head. So let's put that into there, and I hope she's dry enough for me to hold up. But there is another angel to there. So let's have a look at some of the things that we've done. So this is out of wired ribbon. This one is out of concertina paper and a small bauble from the tree. This one we've folded our own paper, we've added a bow and a jewel for the head and some flowers. So quite different. There, we've made a lollipop gift to go on the tree. Okay. We've made a lantern box which will hang on the tree with a piece of ribbon. There's the original one with the wire hanger. Let's place those down there. And we've also seen how to make the German star baubles. So I think that's a nice selection for you to be able to have a go at, and I'd love to see what you make. God bless.